Away from flashing cameras and family headlines, Rebbie Jackson has spent decades shaping a life defined by privacy. In California, her home reflects calm routines, faith, and resilience, far removed from the spectacle often attached to the Jackson name. This is a life lived softly, marked by quiet strength, unspoken chapters, and losses carried without noise. So how did Rebbie Jackson become the quiet anchor in one of the loudest families in music history? To understand that, the story must begin at the very start of her life. Rebbie Jackson was born on May 29, 1950, the first of 10 children raised by Joseph and Catherine Jackson. Being the oldest meant something. It meant helping, watching, protecting. While her younger brothers rehearsed endlessly under their father's direction, Rebbie grew into a steady presence, calm, observant, and deeply grounded in faith. Raised in the Jehovah's Witness tradition under her mother's guidance, her childhood carried structure and spirituality. She studied piano, clarinet, and dance, quietly building artistic skills long before she ever considered fame. By the time she graduated from Theodore Roosevelt High School in 1968, the Jackson name was already beginning to echo beyond Gary. But Rebbie was never rushing to the front of the stage. Her professional journey began in 1974 in Las Vegas, performing with her siblings in family shows. She often served as a supporting vocalist and dancer for the Jackson 5, a role that suited her personality. When the group transitioned from Motown Records to CBS Records in 1976 and rebranded as the Jacksons, Rebbie joined them on the CBS variety show, The Jacksons. The show made history as the first to feature an African-American family in a variety format. Yet even in this groundbreaking moment, she remained composed, present, but never competing for attention. By the late 1970s, Rebbie made a decision that revealed quiet confidence. She would pursue a solo career. She spent years preparing, working as a backing vocalist and performing in cabaret venues, refining her craft without urgency. Then, in 1984, she signed with Columbia Records and released Centipede. The title track, written and produced by her brother Michael Jackson, became a defining hit. The album reached number 13 on the R&B charts, proving that she carried her own musical identity. Unlike the explosive superstardom of some siblings, Rebbie's rise felt steady and deliberate. She followed with Reaction in 1986, collaborating with artists like Robin Zander and Isaac Hayes, and then Are You Tough Enough in 1988, where she became more creatively involved behind the scenes. Songs like Plaything highlighted her evolving confidence as a performer. Even while contributing to her brother's final group album, 2300 Jackson Street, she never lost her sense of individuality. After a period away from recording, she returned in 1998 with Yours Faithfully under Michael's MJJ music label. Michael co-produced and lent his voice to Fly Away, adding another layer of family collaboration. The album's title track reached the R&B charts, marking a mature return rather than a dramatic comeback. Then, 2009 changed everything. Following Michael's passing, Rebbie stood with her family at the Staples Center Memorial, singing and speaking gently to fans. In moments of global grief, she remained composed, a sister first, a performer second. In the early 2000s, she briefly returned to live touring, performing her classics and Motown favorites, and receiving recognition for her contributions to family and community. But after the loss of her husband, Nathaniel Brown, in 2013, her life shifted again. Public appearances became rare. Recording slowed almost entirely. Privacy became protection. Since then, Rebbie has appeared occasionally at family commemorations and select performances, including moments honoring her siblings in later years. Her presence feels intentional, never loud, always meaningful. And after decades of stages, studios, and silent strength, that journey eventually led her somewhere quieter. A California home shaped by reflection rather than spotlight. Let's step inside her California home. Nestled in Westlake Village, an affluent, peaceful community straddling Ventura and Los Angeles County. Rebbie Jackson's home feels like a natural extension of her personality. The area is known for gated neighborhoods, rolling hills, lake views, and a sense of privacy that's hard to find in Southern California. For someone who has spent a lifetime connected to one of the most famous families in music history, that privacy isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. The home itself spans approximately 2,986 square feet and sits in a position that offers sweeping 360-degree views of surrounding hills and valleys. Walking through the front entrance, you immediately notice how open and balanced the layout feels. There are 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, designed for comfort rather than spectacle. The living room is spacious, filled with natural light pouring in through high-set windows that stretch across the walls and hallway. It feels airy, calm, the kind of space where conversations can unfold slowly. The kitchen stands out as both functional and refined. Upgraded with large granite countertops and custom cabinetry, it balances warmth with durability. A striking floor-to-ceiling gas stove becomes a focal point, framed by elegant alder wood shelving. It's not just a cooking area. It feels like a place where family meals matter. Adjacent to the main dining area is a separate breakfast nook, offering a more intimate corner for quiet mornings. There's also a bright study room, large enough to serve as an office or reading retreat, reinforcing the home's thoughtful design. Outside, the landscaping tells its own story. More than 30 olive trees, pepper plants, oleander bushes, and flowering ground cover surround the property, creating a Mediterranean-inspired calm. Imported decorative elements from India at the entrance and in the front and backyard add a subtle global touch. A custom trellis system behind adjustable panels enhances both privacy and architectural detail. The garage accommodates 3 cars comfortably, supported by 2 driveways, practical but not excessive. Everything about the property feels deliberate, spacious but not overwhelming, elegant without trying too hard. In many ways, this home mirrors Rebbie herself, grounded, graceful, and deeply protective of peace. But beyond the walls and views, there's another part of her story worth exploring. When it comes to money, Rebbie Jackson's story feels very different from the headlines often associated with the Jackson name. As of recent estimates, her net worth is reported to be close to $3 million. That figure doesn't place her among the ultra-wealthy superstars of the family, like Michael Jackson or Janet Jackson. But what it does reflect is something steady. A career built carefully, without excess, and without dramatic financial swings. Her primary income has always come from music. Rebbie released 4 solo albums over the course of her career. Centipede in 1984 became her defining project, with the title track, written and produced by Michael, reaching number 2 on the R&B chart and number 24 on the Billboard Hot 100. That single remains her most recognizable song, and its ongoing radio play, streaming numbers, and catalog licensing continue to generate royalties decades later. She followed with Reaction in 1986 and Are You Tough Enough in 1988, both contributing to her overall catalog earnings. In 1998, she returned with Yours Faithfully under the MJJ/Epic label, showing that even after a long break, her voice still had a place in R&B. While none of these projects exploded commercially on a global scale, they provided consistent royalty income over time. There have also been reports that Rebbie, along with her sister LaToya, received financial support through their mother Catherine Jackson's estate, which derives income from Michael Jackson's will and estate management. Sources have mentioned a shared monthly allowance totaling around $37,000 between the 2 sisters. However, this appears to be supplemental rather than her core financial base. Rebbie's wealth reflects moderation. She never chased extravagant ventures or aggressive expansion. Instead, she sustained her career quietly, allowing royalties and selective appearances to support a comfortable life. And beyond earnings, There's another part of her story that deserves attention: how she has used her platform to give back. Unlike some public figures who build large foundations in their own name, Rebbie Jackson has often chosen a more personal path. Her charitable work tends to be woven into family initiatives, selective tours, or faith-driven efforts rather than headline-grabbing campaigns. And somehow, that makes it feel even more sincere. One of her most direct humanitarian efforts came in 2011 with the Pick Up the Phone tour. This wasn't just a concert series. It carried a message. The tour focused on raising awareness about teen suicide prevention, honoring young lives lost, and encouraging open conversations about mental health. Rebbie combined live performances with supportive messages aimed at teenagers and families. It was emotional, intentional, and deeply human. In a world where celebrity tours often focus on ticket sales, this one focused on saving lives and starting dialogue. Years earlier, in 1994, she played a significant role in the Jackson Family Honors event at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. The gala honored figures such as Elizabeth Taylor for her work in AIDS awareness and Berry Gordy for his contributions to African American music. All proceeds were directed to the family's nonprofit initiative, Families Caring for Families. The funds were distributed to respected organizations including the Robin Hood Foundation, the Library of Congress's American Music Programs, Friends of Conservation in East Africa, and youth services programs in Atlantic City. Rebbie actively promoted and participated in the event alongside her siblings, reinforcing the idea that family visibility could be used for collective good. In 2000, she also contributed to the Wave to the World campaign connected to the Sydney Paralympic Games. Appearing in promotional material and the song Spirit of Life with her brothers Michael and Jermaine, she helped raise awareness for disability inclusion and support fundraising efforts tied to Paralympic activities. It was another example of her stepping forward when unity mattered most. What stands out about Rebbie's philanthropy is its tone. It is not self-promotional. It is consistent with her character, thoughtful, compassionate, and grounded in faith. Her efforts often focus on dignity, awareness, and community, especially for young people and underserved groups. And beyond public initiatives, there is still the private woman, wife, mother, sister, whose daily life reveals even more about her strength. At around 76 years old, Rebbie Jackson lives a life that feels intentionally calm. While many of her siblings experienced decades under intense media attention, she chose something different. Today, her world is centered on family, faith, and select musical moments rather than constant public visibility. Rebbie was married to her childhood sweetheart, Nathaniel Brown, from 1968 until his passing from cancer on January 6, 2013. Their marriage lasted more than 4 decades, a rare and steady love story, especially in the entertainment world. In interviews over the years, she has spoken about him with warmth and respect, describing a partnership built on loyalty and shared values. After his death, she never remarried. Instead, she focused on healing quietly, supported closely by her children and extended family. She is the mother of 3 grown children, all of whom have explored music or performance in their own ways. Her son, Austin Brown, in particular, has built a career in music, and the two have occasionally shared the stage. One recent example includes appearances together at high-profile events, such as a 2026 pre-Grammy celebration, moments that feel more like family pride than career ambition. Faith remains central in her daily life. As a devout Jehovah's Witness, Rebbie continues to prioritize spiritual grounding. While she rarely discusses her personal routines publicly, those close to her describe a life built around prayer, family gatherings, and selective musical engagements. She appears occasionally at Jackson family commemorations or special tribute performances, but these appearances are measured, meaningful rather than frequent. What stands out most is her steadiness. She does not chase headlines. She does not compete for attention. Instead, she honors her past, while protecting her peace. In a family often associated with global fame and dramatic narratives, Rebbie's story feels like a quiet anchor, strong, consistent, and deeply rooted in love. Thank you for watching and continuing this journey with us. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring lives beyond the spotlight. Your support means everything, and we look forward to exploring the next chapter together.